Well, new at 10 tonight, Kansas High School basketball will see a major change to its rule book and how the game is played this year. 27 News reporter Drew Gill is live in studio to break down why every second matters. Drew?
Well, David, basketball fans are used to seeing shot clocks in college and in the pros, but now Kansas is giving them a try on the high school hardwood. High school basketball will look a little different in Kansas this year. For the first time, shot clocks are now a part of the game.
Schools have had the last few months to prepare for this upcoming season.
Kyle Doporalski oversees high school ball in the state. He says they're just testing them this year. Each school had the choice to opt in or out. About 24 other states have already implemented shot clocks, including Nebraska, where they're a huge hit.
Nothing but positive things to say from a player's perspective, from a coach's perspective, from an officiating perspective, from an administrative perspective. They are all in on the shot clock.
It makes sure that we don't have a 10-9 game where somebody decides to hold the ball and kind of ruins the whole thing. People are going to have to play.
Seaman High boys head coach Craig Cox says all 9 schools in their conference opted in. Cox has over 20 years of coaching experience, including winning state basketball titles at 2 different schools. He says the change will prevent teams from milking the clock to end quarters.
The way the game's played in our league, the UKC, everybody gets up and down. I don't think it's going to be a factor in that game, but it will have an impact at the end of quarters.
215 of Kansas's 340 high school teams, or 63%, opted out of the trial run. Most of them are smaller schools, with staffing and cost being the biggest factors.
The smaller school conversation was one in which staffing is an issue because you have the scoreboard operator and the bookkeeper now have to find a third person to operate the shot clock, and then also financially to buy the shot clock and get that installed.
But even schools that opt out will still have to play with the 35-second shot clock at any host schools that do use them. For the test year, they'll only be used at the varsity level, and Doporalski says schools will be giving feedback throughout the season.
At the end of the season, there will inevitably be a conversation about what the future will hold for the shot clock.
And the first high school games tip off tomorrow, so we'll just have to wait and see which of these schools can beat the buzzer. Working for you live in studio, Drew Gill, 27 News.